Greetings, Commanders! Welcome back to part 2. Unfortunately, we've lost the fabled Psycho Cow. But he will be back
I shut
shortly.
out the airlock.
I wonder what that was bouncing on the cockpit window. There we go.
It was hard because the airlock wasn't quite big enough. I'm not saying he's big or anything. I might need a lift down to Cheltenham or wherever the Lave comes. No, it's all in jest and he knows I don't think that.
Oh, let's get in close for the kill then. Let's see if we can get these missiles. Missed. What the heck happened there? Okay. Did I blink? Did I miss it? I don't know what happened there. On to the next scenario.
30 seconds didn't pass.
Oh yeah, of course, slight delay. I keep forgetting that. Whilst I've got the chance, whilst it's loading, I will show this. Yay! This is now my pride and joy. This is the only thing I will drink coffee out of from now on, forever. There we go.
Okay.
Very chuffed to get the official.
Slash me waits for Street to catch up.
Ah, yes. I have the official Thargoid and the Thargoid and Fer-de-Lance mug.
Oh, right. Yes, these fabled Thargoid and Fer-de-Lance mugs I've heard about. He would have sent one out to me, but I told him, no, don't send it to me. I will give it to me when we next meet up somewhere. Because apart from them possibly getting broken, I've had a few things go missing where I live that get sent to me. I don't like things getting sent to me, to be honest with you.
No, I know what you mean. It can be a bit of a worry. Whoa. So I'm still dodging around like an idiot, but I don't even have the rift on. I just can't help myself.
Well, at least you see more of the dashboard than I do.
Yeah, I mean, there is an FOV option in the menu that may help you. I've slid mine right out, so I see.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it's. I think it was something that Mike Evans did say. Actually, he had it finely tuned, and then the artistic types come along and said, "No, the head bob needs to be more dramatic," and made it much more sense. And yeah, it does give you the sense of motion, but I can kind of see where he was like, "No, the player's got to see the HUD at all times, so it's more important." But it may be tweaked or changed again. So. These weapons are overheating too damn much.
Well, since you took the little break in the stream, we've had 2 people join us. We've had Stickron, who's always welcome, and we've had someone called Fozzaton, and we're thinking it's the Fozza from Lave Radio, but he hasn't confirmed it yet.
Could that be the second tech? Quite away from Lave out here in the Zelada system. Gotcha. So I really need to get something to attach my X52 to the desk. I think it keeps lifting, which makes my life harder. I am tempted to build myself a proper little simulator seat, in inverted commas.
Right.
I've seen some nice little designs you can get, which are pretty much just PVC tubing. Really easy to put together, and they fit nicely with a hothouse controller. You can have them in a nice, comfortable position. Not so good for using at the desk where I've got the monitor, but if I'm using the Rift, they're
what
perfect.
you just said?
Hothouse. Kind of. Play it back to me.
I don't think I can. Thinking of building a game seat.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would fit nicely over here somewhere in my little spare room. So I think I could get the controller in a nice comfy position, because it does kind of feel like I'm, it's too high on the desk. It needs to be in a nice comfortable position either side of your legs or something like that. So,
Right, your mic's gone quiet, and I'm trying desperately hard not to think double entendre again.
yeah, hopefully that's better. Yeah, I like the idea of it being in a more comfortable a range. It's like having the controller right up here on the desk. It feels too high. It just feels unnatural. It's almost like you want it in more of like where a fighter pilot would have their flight stick sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Low down. So I might think of doing that. Maybe. I think it'd work well with the Oculus Rift on, because I wouldn't need to worry about having the big complicated one with a position for the monitor and everything to go on a stand. I think I could just have the flight sticks in a comfortable position, and I could just be looking around, which would be nice.
Right. Right.
Oh, come on. Come back.
I was just glad that when I tried the Elite Dangerous Alpha this morning, that my joystick is in the presets.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I think Mike Evans has done a great
set
job of
up
setting those
quite
prefixes.
nicely. Set up
Yeah.
quite nicely. I did, before I figured out how to do the looking around the cockpit thing.
Yes.
I altered the POV controls,
Mm-hmm.
but then I figured out how you get the thing to look around the cockpit, and I just put it back on the preset for the joystick, which seems to work quite fine.
Yeah, definitely is. They are set up quite well, I must admit. The X52 setup is really, really nice. Once I actually found out where how to get button 32 to show up on the config menu, it's actually set up in a reasonable way. I have a minor life crisis to deal with, so I'm just going to leave it on this scenario for 2 seconds. I'm sorry, guys. And we're back in the room. Sorry about that. Ooh. Whoops.
Just as you left, there was some weird thing floating in space. I'm not sure what it was. And now you're back, and there's a million ships flying around you.
I think what I was trying to do, because I knew my hull was so damaged in that previous scenario, I was having to go hiding behind the carcass of the Cobra, which worked moderately well. And then I thought, well, sod it, I've blown up now, so I'll leave it running the faction scenario until I get a chance to come back. Oh, there we go, and I'm getting my backside handed to me. See, this is the problem. This is kind of what we were saying earlier on to Psycho K, was it's like you want to dive in and you want to get in the middle of that action, but it's like you just get blown up if you do that sort of thing. You've got to be really tactical and pick off a few targets at a distance. That sort of thing is the only way to succeed. 5 kilometers away. I don't think my missiles are going to get to him.
Petrisk linked to a screenshot from the newsletter, which shows how the Sidewinder drops cargo.
Yeah, that's an interesting shot actually. They've actually got a full animation going on there. You see the cargo bay doors open, the lighting and everything's all set up on there, which is nice. And then you see the little pods shoot out, which I think is some really nice detail they've already got in it at this early stage. So it's going to be nice to see that when it's all in-game and functioning. I imagine we're going to be able to see some of that now because the when I say now, I mean in the next release that comes out on Monday, because they've mentioned about how there's going to be the mining scenario where we can either help or hinder miners. So I think we might see a few cargo items getting jettisoned and how that might play out in game. It's going to be fun. I just want to see how the cargo scooping works, because that's where I'm going to make all my money. Yay!
That's the thing when you were playing either in Elite or in FE2 FFE, you never actually saw the cargo canister getting scooped into the ship because your point of view is inside the ship.
Yeah, just going from that point of view, and really the graphics weren't detailed enough to show that sort of thing. But now we're going to be seeing all that sort of stuff, and I think it's just going to look really, really cool. And you see all these little animations coming together. It's going to make the whole world seem just so much more believable. I think. I can't wait to see all these little details come together, and the silly little things like docking. I want to see that kind of like that thunk as the landing gear connects, and you see them the suspension buckle, and I'm really eager to see that. As you can tell, I really, really want to see those sorts of details. I think that's going to be really great to see all that when it's available to us. Come on.
Poor Mr. Ken Payton in the chat says he's been watching the stream since we started, but he's only been able to chat now because Twitch has constantly been going reconnecting in X seconds.
Oh god, I really don't know what it is with the Twitch chat, but it just seems to fail 90% of the time for people. I don't know why it is.
Yeah.
It's not just you guys, the viewers. Seriously, it fails for us as well. We're trying to chat back to you, and sometimes I don't even see the questions because the damn thing isn't refreshing properly. It's a real pain in the backside. I wish there was something else I can do with it, but there really is no better streaming service I've found which offers everything Twitch does. So it's, and
I had problems last week where I couldn't log in.
Yeah, it's absolute pain. And then half the time when you do manage to log in, it tells you you're not a mod and you can't. It's like, when did that change? Come on, let's get your shields down. I'm gonna have to complete this now. I have managed to complete this scenario. I think you did see it, didn't you, Alien? You can back me up on this. One time, at least. One time I did manage to get all the way through to the 10th wave and complete it.
Yeah, I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I think to be fair, the first few times I did it, I was actually reversing a heck of a lot. But I like Grant was saying, I want to do it the right way. I want to learn the tactics that work and play it properly rather than just trying to use this reversing trick that people have used. It just feels like cheating. I want to do it right.
I want to know what magic touch Grant's son has got.
Youth, I think. Oh, come on, come back. See, it's when they get lined up in your shots. I can't find a way of getting out of their sights when they line you up in. Oh, and they're pointing straight at you. There just doesn't seem to be any way of getting out of their sights quick enough to avoid getting hit. It really is a bit of a tricky situation to be in.
I had the interesting situation earlier where I was flying around trying to get behind the Sidewinder to constantly be behind him to shoot at him, and instead he's the one who's behind me shooting at me. If you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah, you kind of get caught in this spiral
he's
chasing
doing
each
to
other.
me what I'm trying to do to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just couldn't shake him off.
And you end up chasing each other, and it's I know exactly what you mean. It is you do kind of get stuck in these death spirals almost, and you don't seem to be able to get out of them. Yep. See, there doesn't seem to be any way of avoiding their line of sight when they've got you. You're just pretty much knackered at that point. They just keep popping out. They seem to be like unrealistically accurate. You know what I mean? It's like once
Yeah.
they've got you in your sights, it's like every shot is on target. They seem to be completely infallible in that respect, which is a little bit annoying. I hope that's something which gets a bit more balance on it. I just there seems to be any way of avoiding them other than staying out of range of their weapons fire, which is kind of annoying, really, because I don't like that kind of like I'm going to hide over here. You know, just distance is my only savior and that sort of thing. It just doesn't seem right, but maybe that's the only way to do it. You know, once they got a few shots on you, is to literally get out of weapons range. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at it, I mean, that's what some of this AI seems to be doing. So maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. When I get to the point where my shields are too low, I should run and let them recharge for a little bit.
I took some consolation from playing it this morning, where as I'm like spinning round
Mm-hmm.
to get him in my crosshairs, there'd be like the second he passes through your crosshairs, and every now and then I'd get a shot right on just the moment crosshairs. That was quite nice.
Yeah, it is satisfying when you get a nice solid hit on someone, I must admit. What have we got now? Ooh. 22% hull. I'm not doing as I think I'd done better in my first attempt at this. I'm gonna blame the alcohol. But I think my first attempt was more successful. I'm getting progressively worse as I go on through the evening, so my original mandate about how practice makes you better, I think we can all just ignore me. Whoa, that was close. I have completely lost them. Do you see them? Nope, there they are. Whoa. Okay. Yep, 30-second delay thing, is it? Crew! Never mind. I'm determined for that to become a meme one way or another. So this is where the, to avoid that kind of reverse thrusting thing, if I had a distance readout underneath the selected target right now, I wouldn't have the urge to turn around, and I think that's where a lot of that comes from. Is I want to keep them in my sight so I know how far away they are. You know, the only way I know that I'm going to be able to get away and recharge my shield is by being a given distance away from them. But I can't tell how far away they are behind me because I've got no readout for that, and I've just clicked the wrong button. That's really not going to do me any favors. Damn. Silent running mode, and I've just disabled my shields. Oh, poop. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to zoom out my scanner and I clicked the wrong button. Damn you. Zelada to high orbit. Roll on the day that we can get that to low orbit. Or even landed. It will come. It will come. The Kickstarter came. The game is here. Almost here. Partially here. What's that? The Sidewinder is keeping up with me. The little fighters are struggling to keep up with me, but the Sidewinder is having a good go here. I think I'll turn around and face him now. I may have run too far. This scenario may have...
Here's an interesting question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If we consider the flying backwards and shooting tactic to be effectively cheating,
Mm-hmm.
what is the difference between that and having a rear-facing laser and flying, like running away, but shooting at him from backwards, if you know what I mean, from the rear laser?
Yeah, I suppose it would be the same as this. I mean, obviously the controls are still kind of having a slight reverse feel to them, I suppose. I suppose it would be exactly the same thing, really, wouldn't it? You'd have the same maneuverability, you'd be able to shoot backwards. I suppose that the trick would be as if the ships are well balanced in the fact that you could only have lighter armor is on the back, perhaps. Do you know what I mean? So like your big engines are on your back and your big weapons are on the front. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
vice versa, you've got smaller thrusters on the front, but you can only have smaller weaponry on the back. I think that would be a fair compromise. I think for most of the smaller craft in the game, I think that would probably work quite well in that respect.
See, I'm confused now because I consider the turning around, flying backwards, and firing cheating, or effectively cheating, to put it that way. And yet, I don't consider cheating the having the rear-facing laser.
I think it's a question of balance. I think, if it's set up right. I mean, like they've said, you can still get away with reversing quite well in this at the moment. But there has been talks about them nerfing it and reducing the amount of thrust you've got backwards and making the AI more competent, at least, so that it deals well with that situation of you trying to reverse and shoot at them. So I think it's just going to be a question of balance. I mean, if an AI is chasing after you and they can see you've got a rear weapon, then maybe they'll back off a little bit and try and attack you from an angle where you can't get them so easily. Come at you from the sides or above or something like that. I mean, it's three-dimensional space after all, so there's more than one way to come at you. So yeah, I think it's going to be a question of balancing it, that AI, giving it all the options and all the different tactics it can use against you. And I think it'll all come out in the wash, definitely. I think that the feedback we've given so far has allowed them to come up with some better alternatives already, even at this early stage. So, bit of 20% there. That was something I put in one of the recent posts. Actually, someone was asking about the odd flight assist on/off question again. I think somewhere else, and I think I once again reiterated that I'd probably pay about 80-20 with it on, to be fair. It's handy for doing these little tactics where you can spin around and get some good shots on people, but at the end of the day it's so much better to fly with it on.
I have to admit, I haven't tried the flight assist off yet.
Oh, it's scary. Really, really scary.
I'm still learning how to fly the ship with the setup controls. Never mind flying it with flight assist on.
Oh yeah, it makes a world of difference to it. It really is very, very hard. It's I would not recommend you trying it until you're comfortable with everything else. Definitely, it's bloody hard, to say the least. No, that didn't seem to work. I tried to fly away, and the problem is I'm fighting a Sidewinder. It has virtually the same flight capabilities as me, so he's just right on my tail. There was just nowhere to get around him. And I do kind of have the advantage with the Cobra, is that I can stay at a range from him a lot longer. Being a smaller, lighter ship, I got more acceleration. Whee! Oh dear. Houston, we have a problem.
Fiery Toad asks a question which, in all fairness, is probably one for Stigrom. But he asks, does it make it harder for the AI to hit you with flight assist off?
Good point, actually. I've never tried that. I'll tell you what, once I inevitably get destroyed on this one, which will happen shortly, I'll take it from hold to toggle mode and I'll give it a go. And I'll inevitably get killed a lot quicker.
Oh, Stigron says yes and no.
Yes and no. I suppose it makes you more unpredictable. You're not going to be following a relatively straight trajectory, so it's going to make you a little bit more of a moving target, I suppose. But at the same time, they seem to be virtually infallible target-wise, which... Now, I really cannot find a way of getting out of their line of sight once you're in it. There doesn't seem to be any decent way of doing it. Oh, okay, kamikaze time, and then I'm going to change the flight assist on. Yeah, there we go. I knew that would happen sooner or later. No, I really cannot find a good way without just doing the old reverse thrust thing. There doesn't seem to be any good way of doing it. Let's try it. Let's flight assist completely off for the next thing. This is going to be fun. And when I say fun, I mean everyone else is just going to laugh. Right, let's put it on toggle. There we go. Flight assist off. Look, rotate. Whee! This is gonna be fun.
Stigron says flight assist off forces the enemy to come to you to a degree.
Yeah, I see what he means. I mean, really, you could be... whoops. No, the problem is it's just too twitchy. You know, there was a degree of flight assist in Frontier Elite 2, which we've spoken about many times before, actually, but with this, there really is no compensation for roll, yaw, pitch, or anything. You're just completely at the mercy of Newton.
Stigron makes the comment, "Yay! Finally, Kerrash! Yay! FA off!"
Yes, and look how much better I am.
I don't know if it's the same for anyone else, but when I see the abbreviation FA, I'm not thinking flight assist. I have to tell my brain it's flight assist.
Yeah.
Because I normally think something else, which I'm not going to say on the stream.
No. Yeah, it is a funny acronym.
Stigron says there does not need to be compensation. You need to compensate yourself. I use 3-4 keys at once.
Concentration. Shots on target are about 10% as accurate as before, and the AI is hitting me just as much as they were as the first time. See, I kind of equate this to having a car with power steering and turning it off. It's like, you can, but why?
Yeah.
I mean, once you can get away with, with the being able to toggle with it, I just find it so much more kind of intuitive to have it on the hold, so I can spin around. I can get myself like I'm doing backwards. I mean, basically, I'm just coasting in reverse here, and he's trying to catch up with me and chase me. But with the flight assist completely off, it just... So here we go. I mean, this is the first wave, and I'm getting my ass handed to me. It just goes to show you how much more difficult it is, and it's yeah, it's realistic. I'll give them that. It's an excellent simulation, but I'm gonna die. Is it a more fun gameplay experience? Maybe if you want to play ultra hardcore. Let me try it with... where is it? I'll try and do 50-50 flight assist on this one. Right, I got the flight assist held down now.
Stigron says, if I could throw out the flight assist computer to get more cargo space, I'd jettison it in a blink. Yes, it is much more fun.
No, I know where you're coming from, and it is a great feeling having that completely natural way of flying around, and I understand where you're coming from, but whoops, but yeah, it's just difficult, very very difficult. If you want difficult, great, go for it. I would thoroughly enjoy watching people doing well with that on, because I think that would be a fantastic achievement to see people doing it. But yeah, it's see with that off, it was that much more easy. It's like the difference of going from like keyboard control to mouse and keyboard control on a first-person shooter. It's like, yeah, you can do it, but why would you?
Now, I haven't tried playing it solely keyboard and mouse because I used the joystick, but I used the joystick and the keyboard.
Oh right, yeah. How did that?
So there are things I do on the keyboard, like targeting, for example. Target next enemy or something, just as an example.
Yeah.
And then there are things I do on the joystick, like the throttle and power to weapons and power to systems buttons.
Yeah, and I think there's some things which just kind of they fit well on the joystick, don't they? There's the nice common combat controls, but then having that keyboard there with all the additional options is really really handy. I mean, I keep forgetting that there is a way on the joystick here. One of these, which one is it? This one. Nope, this one. No, there's one of these buttons.
54.
Yeah, one of them. One of them does this thing where I can do the look left and right in the cockpit thing. But to be honest, I prefer to just have that on the keyboard, because it's like I don't really want to look left and right that often, so it doesn't feel like it's a critical thing I need to be doing that. I mean, I can just go to 1, 2, and 3 on the keyboard and quickly flick through them. I think if I was in a more than just a combat situation, I can imagine it would be more required to have that kind of instant access to looking left and right, you know, targeting subsystems and whatnot. But realistically, I've got enough buttons on, you know, right at my fingertips that you know, the extra controls are not really needed either. Waffling away, and I wasn't prepared for the next kill. There we go. We leave it in reverse. How are we doing for questions, actually, Alien? I keep forgetting to ask you tonight.
Not exactly inundated with questions.
I did see the comment of someone requesting we have Elite theme G-strings. Really?
That was back with the suggestions for merchandise. Because yes, I saw that comment as well. Stigron, you haven't played Elite Dangerous since December the 28th. You heretic!
Oh, very dial. Whoop, whoop, there's the missile gone. There we go. I'm just going to sit back and wait for him to come to me.
Come to me, my love. Or, let's see who gets this reference. Get over here!
Ah, my little boy would. He shouldn't know that game, but he does. Yeah, it's amazing the things he can find by himself on YouTube, even with parental locks on. How does he find these things? My beam laser is malfunctioned. I've got a little piddly laser pointer. Yay! Pew, 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 pew. I'm going to blind you. Come back here. Ah, there we go. Now it's back. Oh, I love it when it malfunctions. It looks brilliant. Oh, I'll have to get you with a sneeze cannon instead. Come back here.
Laser malfunction. Where's my laser pointer? Let me get my laser pointer. Blind you, my laser.
It looks about as effective after it's really, really pointless kind of little red beam. Is like
You've got a sneeze cannon and a laser.
I'm gonna blind you, and then I'm gonna just give you an infectious disease. There you go. Oh no! Achoo! There you go. Oh, direct hit. Oh, my beam laser's malfunctioned again. No, no! Damn you! Yes, I'm doing progressively worse as the evening goes on. I swear to God, I just can't hold my drink.
You are still doing better than me.
Well, hopefully next week when we've got multiplayer on. I mean, because I know the multiplayer says all against all melee. They haven't actually mentioned whether or not there's going to be a system for, teaming up or at least meeting up with people that you know, or whether it's just going to be a random free for all. I think that's more likely it's just going to be a random free for all by what I've heard.
Think so.
Yeah, but no, I mean it would be fun when you see that name pop up on the screen. It's like, I know you. You were that guy from the forums.
You gave me negative rep. Have this missile up your arse.
Yeah, it's just going to be a small taste of things to come, I think, isn't it? Come on, eat Pulse Laser.
I found out today why OS133 has got all that negative rep on the forum.
Yeah, I think I was on the thread
I
when that
missed
started
it
to
when it
happen.
happened, but
Yeah.
I found out today why it's happened.
I forget the original thing. I kind of joined in on the thread, and I saw he had all the red cherries on there as they were calling them. Oh dear, he seems to be wearing them quite proudly now, which is more scary, I think.
Oh.
Boom, boom. Bum, 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 bum. Locate and destroy the misfortune.
Wow, that's an inspiring name for a ship.
Ooh, we have only a day left, isn't it? This is the last day of the ship naming thread for me. I think the winner is already
Ooh.
clear at this point, isn't it?
Ooh,
But,
now that means you want me to look up and see which one's winning.
I think it's pretty clear what my ship is going to be called. I mean, I don't know whether we're going to be able to name it this early on, but it would be fun if I can.
I've got to find the thread now.
Oh!
Nope.
Whoa! Didn't get that missile. To be fair, I didn't have any gimbal weapons. It was just machine guns, which are not that effective against missiles, I must admit. Lasers are much better.
Yeah.
Rubbish excuse, I know.
The store will close on Monday. It closes
Monday.
on Monday.
On
So
Monday,
you've got
just in time for the next alpha release. See, look, I timed it perfectly. I must have knew.
and Jammy Dodger is winning with 9 votes, and on 8 votes is Misfire. And on 7 votes is the Kraken. No, sorry. Unlimited Liabilities on 8, and then it's the Kraken on 7.
Brilliant.
So you got Jammy Dodger 9, 2 on 8 votes, and 1 on 7.
Excellent.
So, taking that everyone else has already voted, I think Jammy Dodger is the winner.
Yeah, I think that's probably the end of it now, I think. Definitely. Well,
Because,
we'll leave it.
The
I mean,
last
it's
time
not
I
3
looked
hours.
for you a couple of weeks ago, it
It
was
was
still that.
Still the same. I think I shall have to bump the thread and get people to put in the last few closing votes. He's way too far away from me. I don't know why I'm trying to shoot this guy. I was just not paying attention at all there.
I still think Wreckage was a better name, but
Wreckage,
it
yeah.
wasn't included in the poll, so
Like I said, though, I think what's probably going to happen is I'm going to end up having to have several ship names because they're just not going to last. Let's be honest. Given my track record in flight
Well,
capability.
you could always suffix it with Roman numerals.
Yes.
Jammy Dodger 2.
Jammy Dodger the Third.
I mean, I know what I'm going to call my ship when we get to naming ships.
Mm.
But, interestingly enough, I am not going to call my first ship by the name I've picked, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or at the very least, I'm going to wait a while before I name my ship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if Frontier is still sticking to this, still having this in the game, but your ship has separate reputation to you.
Yes. Yes, no, I think that it definitely has been confirmed that that's how they're planning on doing it, yeah.
So if that being the case, I want the ship to build up a reputation a bit first and then name it.
Mm.
Because you wouldn't want to name your ship the ideal name and then have it losing, get pirated and blown up and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of thinking more along the lines for bloody hardcore mode, which is what's going to happen to me is like I'll have my nicely named ship and it'll be all nice and fluffy and I'll take it along and it'll get blown up in 30 minutes and seconds and and there we go, there's that ship gone. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I imagine you can probably keep using the name, you know, if your ship gets completely destroyed. You know, I mean, maybe they build something into the naming system, like you said, with this kind of like having numerals, having you know, versions of your ship. You know, so you have Misfire the Third, and where's that other Federal cruiser?
But if I've interpreted it right,
Mm-hmm.
you register the name on a ship, and then you get that ship blown up. You then put that same name on your new ship.
Yeah.
It carries over the fact that it's already been blown up once.
Oh, right.
If you understand how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So almost like a kill to death ratio stat sort of thing gets taken over. So I can still call it the Jammy Dodger, but it's like, oh yeah, he's that thing's been blown apart more times than I care to count, sort of thing. Yeah, no, that seems like a realistic way of putting it. I mean, it certainly saves the.
That's what they were talking about with the reputation thing for the ship.
Mm.
If the ship's been involved in a lot of successful kills, and you then sell the ship,
it's worth more.
The reputation carries with the ship and the ship name.
Yeah, no, that makes sense actually. I think that's probably a more workable option than trying to keep coming up with distinct names for the ship. That just wouldn't work, really. It really wouldn't work. But having some sort of first come first serve sort of basis on the ship names would definitely be a.
Which is why you wait until you've got the ship set up the way you want it. And it works, and
then christen it.
Yeah, it doesn't keep getting blown up, and then you name it. Because then you're not going to name a ship that's just going to keep getting blown up. You're going to name a ship that's going to survive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I probably wouldn't care much about naming the first ship that I have, but you know, maybe when I get my nice Asp Explorer and it's all nice and polished and I've got all the add-ons and fluffy dice and everything that I want in it, then maybe I think that'd be worth christening. Unless, of course, I might get the Clipper Alex, which, you know, tempting, very tempting. So I'm thinking.
If I'm wrong, Kerrash, this whole ship naming thing is a DDF archive article, isn't it?
I think it is now, yeah. I think it's up and available for people to go and review what was decided about it. But, my word, so much has gone on since then. I lose track.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I've read it, the DDF archive.
Definitely. So I think I'll play this out tonight with a quick browse of factions. Always good fun to watch factions. I think we've been on nearly 2 hours now. And I don't think Psycho
So
Carey
we-
is going to be able to come back for us. So. Oh, yeah, there was a short break, wasn't there? But yeah, I think I'll keep it short and sweet tonight. I'm not sure whether I'll stream tomorrow. I think we'll leave it tomorrow, and I'll get the energy drinks in because I think I'm going to be a busy boy next week. I think I may be rushing home from work Monday evening, or I feel ill, sir. Please. No, I definitely. If it's up and available on Monday, I will be doing my best to race home and get streaming for those guys who won't be able to see it. But I'm sure you'll probably be up and playing it as soon as it's available, lady, won't you?
Possibly.
Yeah, just possibly. Yeah, just maybe.
Got Bear Antics is saying he's going to call his ship Kenny because it's going to die a lot.
Oh my God! You killed Kenny.
You bastard! I
Brilliant.
looked up on YouTube a live version of South Park.
Oh
It's-
yes.
It's only about 5-6 minutes long, but it's funny because these actual kids doing it.
Oh my God. I'll have to try and find that. That sounds absolutely hilarious. I also, I mean, I'm kind
I'll
of
try and find it and give you the link in Slack.
definitely, yeah, we'll share that on thing. I do like the there's a South Park game coming up actually. It's just coming up in March this year, and it looks so good. I really want to get it. I know I'm going to have no time to play it, so I'm avoiding getting it. But no, it looks absolutely hilarious. It literally is. It's all two-dimensional. You play it like it's an episode of the movie of the show, but it's all interactive, so it looks really, really fun. I want to get it, kind of an RPG style thing. Excellent. Can't wait for that. So I'll leave this to play out, and I'll just say the usual. Thank you very much, Alien. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for giving me
Thank
the
you
help.
for having me. It's a privilege.
No, it's always good fun to have you on, and I appreciate the help. And it's great to have Psycho Cow on board with us tonight. Hopefully we can get a few more community members up in there. I know there's a couple of people that I really need to let have a go because they've asked as well. So we'll try and get that soon.
Yeah.
But,
Always
always good to have the community involved, which is what the show's all about, really, getting answering questions for you guys, and if we can have you on the show as well, it's always good fun. So with that, folks, I wish you a very good evening, and we will see you in time for the multiplayer alpha next week. Yes, excellent. So good evening to you all.